from Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
What?
The Tom Leykis Show. The Tom Leykis Show.
Excuse me?
The Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. And I want to say happy holidays to all the striking supermarket workers who are still on strike here in Southern California. And you may be surprised to hear this, but we, the people of Southern California, are not starving. Look around. We're not starving. We still go to our favorite local supermarkets to pick up the stuff that they have, like tin foil and Diet Pepsi and stuff. And if we need to go to other stores, we go to Costco, we go to Trader Joe's. And can I tell you something? I've been going to Costco and Trader Joe's and a little bit of Smart and Final. And I may never go back to the other supermarkets when you do come back. So the next thing you'll have to worry about after the strike is over is layoffs, because I'm telling you, I've found other ways to shop. And I will still cross the picket line when necessary. Ralph's doesn't have picket lines anymore, but Vons and Albertsons do. I'll cross the picket line when I feel like it. Even though it's holiday season, I really don't give a rat's ass. I hope this is worth it to you, by the way, all you strikers out there. I hope it's worth it. And by the way, I was watching CNBC. I'm sure those of you who work in supermarkets don't bother to watch CNBC, since I'm sure none of you plan ahead or invest and have no idea what's going on in the stock market. But the other day, Albertsons announced their quarterly earnings. And no doubt the strike has affected quarterly earnings. I'm going to tell you the specifics about this. This is interesting. The expected earnings were 37 cents a share. That's what Wall Street was expecting. They only earned 25 cents a share. So profits are down by 1/3. But are you listening to me? There were profits. They're making money even though you're on strike. It just means that the earnings were down. Doesn't mean they were completely gone. So I don't know if you saw that, but I did not turn on the news and see that Albertsons was losing its shirt. It's not. And I'm willing to bet that Safeway and Kroger, the company that owns Ralph's, I'm sure that's same deal there. I'm sure. In fact, I was at Ralph's the other day, and crowds were back. There were lines at Ralph's, and can I tell you something? In case you guys haven't stopped by your old job lately, the replacement cashiers are getting better and better at ringing you up, and they're learning the difference between cabbage and lettuce when the produce is coming by. They're learning the produce. And the longer you guys are on strike, the better the replacement cashiers are getting at your job. How do I know? Because I go to Ralph's whenever I need stuff. I do. But what this strike has done is it has encouraged people like me to find other places to get stuff, and it hasn't stopped me from crossing the picket line. It's just that when you go to the supermarkets, at least the first few weeks of the strike, I'm sure the strikers were thrilled to know that the shelves were in disarray. I saw brown meat in the meat department the first time I went in. But I want to tell you something. It's gotten a lot better. And I support the supermarkets, not the cashiers, because I want lower prices. And so does everybody else. Done. And Dean says, and you might be interested in knowing this, Dean says he loves going to the supermarket more than ever because where he shops, there aren't any lines anymore, so he goes right in, gets in and out in no time. I bought my turkey at Ralph's for Thanksgiving. And I did a certain amount of shopping at Trader Joe's. But you boys are very short-sighted, you boys and girls who work the registers, because ultimately, when this strike is over, a lot of us are not coming back full-time to your store. And when sales are down, layoffs begin. That's what happens. It's amazing. Anyway, I thought we would talk a little bit about this, since every time we've discussed it, the phones explode. And I was amazed. I drove past Vaughn's on the way to work today, and there were the picketers out there. It's going to be some Christmas for those people who, instead of working and earning a paycheck, they're out there carrying a sign. It's great. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's 1-800-5800-866. Heather on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, you're being a jackass.
Why do you say that?
Because you don't realize, or maybe don't care to understand, that 2 out of the 3 supermarkets that are striking were locked out. They have no choice. They lost their jobs whether they liked it or not. That the reason
So go work at Ralph's.
Yeah, so they're just going to up and move to Ralph's where all the other people are trying to work? That's not going to work, and you know it.
Yeah, you just go be a replacement worker. They're getting $18 to $21 an hour. I saw the sign on the window.
You're going to cram two stores into another store? That doesn't work, and you know it. 50% of their hospitalization is what they're trying to ask them to pay. My friend just had a very expensive operation that she would have had to pay $10,000
well, you know what?
pocket.
Yeah, maybe you should have gone to college. Maybe you should have worked a little harder.
Well, I did, and unfortunately not everybody has the luxury of being able to afford college. It's very expensive.
You go to community college. Are you kidding me? There's a million ways to do this.
I realize that. I struggle to go through school, but I'm not saying that everybody can. There's a lot of people that we depend on that work very hard for a living, and they should be taken care of.
No, dear. They should be taken care of according to whatever the market will bear.
Right,
but you know what? If I can get... I went to Costco yesterday. Not yesterday, last week.
I don't care.
I went to Trader Joe's this weekend, and I went to Costco. I couldn't believe how cheap meat was and other stuff that I'm getting gouged on at the supermarket. You know what?
I totally agree with that.
I don't feel like paying so that people can have better health benefits than I have.
No, they don't have better health benefits than you. You pay 50% of your hospitalization. You want to tell me that?
Oh no, dear, that was not the health benefits they had before the strike.
The main problem, the reason why they're striking. My friend said that they would sign the contract today if they would just remove that one item. But you know what? Everybody's being greedy, and they want to force everybody out, all the unions out, and pay people less. And I understand that.
Well, so they can lower prices.
I understand that's better for them, but this is not appropriate. There's going to be thousands of people laid off, and what does that do to our economy that's already in the crapper?
Well, you know what? I'm really not all that concerned about it, because these are people who should have worked a little harder and a little smarter.
But you know what? There has to be jobs paying at all levels, because not everybody can be a millionaire making millions of dollars.
No one said everybody has to be a millionaire, but there were certain jobs, like being a fry cook at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's.
Out of this, but some people aren't. Some people have to have this job.
Well, that's fine. But you know what? I don't feel like paying higher prices to make that possible for them.
I just think it's ridiculous that you're acting like, it's all these people that should be suffering. They were locked out. They don't have any education. They can't just up and
Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
But some people...
It's their own fault.
Whether you think it's appropriate or not, for some
their own
people,
fault.
It's their career.
Well, you know what? It's their own fault. And how can you call that a career? My God, that's a job to get you through high school or college. Yeah, career. I'm a career cashier. That's great.
You're just lucky that things happened well for you, and you could be in...
Dear, I'm not lucky. I've been a cashier. You know what? I've done that job.
Yeah, and so have I.
Well, you know what? You know what? When I worked as a cashier, here's what I said to myself in my head. Because, by the way, I grew up poorer than you did. Trust me.
No, I'm sorry, but you didn't.
Yes, I did, dear. I grew up in an $80 a month apartment in the South Bronx. Don't tell me 4 kids, 1 bedroom. My parents slept on a Castro convertible in the living room. Don't tell me you grew up poorer than I did. You didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry, but yes, I did.
Well,
my family basically had the state paying for anything that I got because I got nothing. From the time I was 15 years old, I was taking care of myself.
Oh, well, very well. So from the time I was 16, I've been taking care of myself. So there you go.
So there's no difference. But you just
all right. The bottom line is, though, when I worked as a cashier, when I stood there pressing buttons and entering prices, what I said to myself is, I'm better than this.
And so did I, but not everybody is. Not everybody has a brain like you and I do. Not everybody is intelligent.
Oh, you're smarter than these people, and you...
I think I am.
You're speaking on behalf of the poor morons who can do nothing better than be cashiers.
There are people who are capable of finding a career that's a bit above being in the cashier position, but not everybody can.
Now, I'll tell you something else. On the East Coast, they get paid $8 an hour to be cashiers. I've never seen anything like this until I came to the West Coast. It's unbelievable.
It's still unfair. Everybody was locked out, and I just think we need to be a little more sensitive to the fact that people...
No, you don't. I don't. You know what? They should get other jobs. They should go do something else. This is a good opportunity to motivate them. You know what? In 1992, I was fired from a job in the radio business, and I was out of work for 7 months. Completely out of work, with no income at all. And you want to know something? It's the best goddamn thing that ever happened to me. It lit a fire under my ass, and now you want to know something? I now make 9 times what I made when I got laid off, okay? Fired. I got fired 9 times. It's the best thing that ever happened. These people should pull themselves up by their bootstraps and say, you know what, I needed a good kick in the ass, and they should go out and get better jobs.
You're 1% of the population that was able to have something good happen to
Oh, please, what do you think, I won the lottery here, dear? Believe me, I have to produce every day. If I don't produce, I'll be working at Ralph's.
But you know what? People who work there work their butt off just as much as I do or you.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
They come home filthy. They come home smelling like, who
like
knows
what?
what?
Like lettuce? Like what?
No, actually, my
Come on, it's not like working in the coal mine, dear. Please.
My friend works behind the meat counter, and he works very hard.
Oh, so he gets $20 an hour.
No, he doesn't.
How much does he get?
He's not a meat cutter. I don't know exactly, but it's not 20 an hour.
Ah, I see. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Who put him back there? Who put him back there? He volunteered for that gig.
A very long line of people who didn't.
You know what? We eliminated the draft in 1975. Nobody was forced to go work in the meat department. And we eliminated slavery in 1865. He's in the meat department because that's what he saw himself as, a meat guy.
Well, what I'm saying is that those people, I feel bad for them because that's their livelihood, and they had it pulled out from them.
Well, they chose it. You know what? They chose it. And
they chose it, but
what right do they have to think they're going to work for their entire life as a cashier at a supermarket? Can I tell you something else, too, dear? Let me tell you something else. I don't know if you're aware of this, but before we ever had like a refrigerator like we have today, you have a refrigerator at home, I'm sure. But years ago, we didn't have refrigerators. Years ago, before I was born, and before you were born, there was something called an ice box.
Yeah, I know that.
All right, and there was
I had one when I was a kid because I was that poor.
Okay, great. So did you have an iceman who came over to your house?
Actually, no, my dad went and picked it up.
Went and picked up the ice. Okay, well, you know what? Hey, why didn't he let the poor Iceman do it? He needed a job. And the fact is, there used to be a guy who'd come to your house, deliver a big block of ice, and they'd put it in the ice box, and there'd be a fan that would blow on the block of ice, and that's how you would keep things cold. And you know what? When the new refrigerators came along, I'm sure your ancestors didn't say, you know what, I want to buy a refrigerator, but the poor Iceman's not going to have a job.
Technological advancement isn't a good thing. It is.
Well, great.
People had the rug pulled out from under them, and that's unfair.
Well, you know what? Part of it has to do with technology, too, because the Walmarts and the Costcos of this world are going to start killing the supermarket chains, and the reason they're going to do it is because they have better inventory control, they're able to keep things cheaper, they're able to cut back on waste and fraud and mismanagement and shrinkage and all of that stuff. And I got to tell you, that's why they put out the same or better product at a lower price. And that's what people want. And you won't be satisfied until all the chains go broke competing with Walmart and Costco.
Leave me alone.
Huh?
It's not easy for people to deal with.
Well, you know what? They should deal with it. That's what they should do. Buck up.
Yeah, and that's going to happen for thousands of people right now, immediately. No.
You know what? Maybe it's time. I'll tell you what, all you boys and girls that are carrying picket signs, you ought to be heading off to the technical schools, the trade schools, the community colleges, and start stepping it up a notch. Instead of standing out there with your sign all day long, no one's paying any attention to you, how about you go out and do something? Stupid.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
It's stupid. Here's your opportunity, boys and girls. Here's your opportunity to grow up and become something as an adult. Huh?
The only opportunity they have to be making any money is on the picket lines.
How are you making money on the picket line? What do they pay, $30 a week?
They're being paid
what do they get?
they're able to get.
My dad was a union leader. Let me tell you something. That strike pay is nothing. It's nothing. Get a real job. Stop with the picket signs. Stop. Go off and get some training. Learn something. Here's a good opportunity. New semester's going to be starting soon. Oh, she hangs up in the middle then. Yeah. New semester starting soon, everybody. How about you go to school? But you try that.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-866.
It is finally great to pay homage to the king.
Thank you.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Andrea on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. It's
Hi.
Andrea.
I just said that.
Well, I think you should stick to talking about sex because you don't know what you're talking about with this topic.
How so?
Well, first off, both of my parents work for the chains. My dad's a teamster for Vaughn's, and my mom works for Albertsons. And proud to say that through their hard work and well-paying jobs at the grocery store, they were able to put me and my brothers and sisters through college, and now we have become, we can contribute to this society by, if they didn't make as much money, they would not have been able to put us through.
Oh, but the point is, if they hadn't made so much money at the supermarket, they could have gone somewhere else and made money.
Let me ask you something then. Do we have enough jobs available for the people right now who graduate from college? No. So you're saying you want these people to go out and either get jobs at colleges,
How about they just go to trade school or technical school or something? I mean, I'm not saying they should all go to college, but you know what? They could get more education than working at the supermarket requires.
Tom, trade schools. Let's talk about all the trades. They all have unions. Plumbing, tile workers, electricians.
Guess what? These people, you know what? These people actually have skill, and they go to a trade or technical school to get it.
Okay, so there's a lot.
So why don't the cashiers become electricians or plumbers or bricklayers?
Then what are we going to do? We're going to, just like we have too many lawyers, we're going to have too many electricians. Just think about it.
We'll never have too many. You know what? We have too many cashiers. That's why there's such pressure, and that's why Ralph has so many replacement workers at Vaughn's and Albertsons.
Yeah, there's
because so many people are willing to do that job because it requires no skill.
They can't get jobs unless there's people on strike. These people, they're not drug tested. There are a lot of them. They're immigrants, and after 3 months, these girls.
Are you alleging that the stores are illegally hiring illegal aliens?
Absolutely.
Really? Oh, well, I'd love to see the proof of that.
It takes 90 days.
Oh, if you have proof of that, you should call the INS immediately.
Sir, Tom, it takes 90 days to do a full and thorough background check. Illegal immigrants can go and get fake Social Security cards, and to thoroughly check all of those people, it takes at least 90 days. As well as these people have not been drug tested.
Well, it's easy to make these allegations on the air and try to cast aspersions, but all I'm going to say to you is this. If the price of items is going to go down as a result of this, I'm all for it. Thanks for the call.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Thought I'd mention it. Here we are heading into the Christmas season, and the supermarket employees are still on strike, for God's sake. Stacy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Okay, Stacy.
Hey, my company's been hiring some temps for our company that are on strike for the supermarkets, and it's funny, I've noticed that they are like some of the laziest employees we've ever had with our company.
Really?
Yeah, simple filing, simple things like that. They just kind of don't want to do it. They have attitudes. It's like they're getting paid less for a job that they have to do more at, and I just made an observation I thought was pretty funny, and I wanted to call and tell you.
Oh, my God, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We've had like 3 or 4 employees come through, and a couple of them we let go. We still have a couple with us, but I'm just like telling my manager, I'm like, God, these people, they work for the they work for the supermarkets, and they're like the cashiers, and all they do is beep, beep all day long. It's a little bit more difficult than what we're asking them to do, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, while we're at it, let's talk about the post office for a second. Talk about a union job where people seem to take their sweet time doing anything.
Yep, definitely.
I always read these dire predictions that email and faxes and Federal Express are hurting the post office. You know what? That's great.
Yep.
Start laying people off.
Yep.
You keep raising postage so we can continue. It's like a big welfare system. How about if more people are sending email and less people are sending actual letters, how about we start laying a few people off over there at the post office? Come on.
Better service.
It couldn't get worse.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Stacy. 1-800-5800-TOM. Now, I got to tell you something. There are people at the post office who do a great job. The person who delivers mail to me does a great job, and I've never had a problem at my home. But when I go into the post office, oh, my God, is anybody satisfied with the service they get? No. These people go on strike from time to time. You got to be kidding. It's Tony on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, you are amazing, Tom. I love you. I got to say, you're one of the best persons I ever heard on the radio.
Thank you.
I was a cashier at Ralph's not too long ago, actually, no, about 4 or 5 months ago, and got out just ahead of time. And I'm so much better off now. Just being out of that stupid store. I was in there for 4 years. I worked for Ralph's, actually.
Uh-huh.
And these people that are calling in saying that they work hard at the store, okay, I did almost everything that you can do in that grocery store. From the meat department, from produce, from stocking, night crew, the service deli, to cashiering, to even pushing carts. The job is so freaking easy, Tom. These people that are calling and complaining saying they had a hard job or, give them a break or okay? Your job sucks. It's easy. Everybody can do it. It's a no-brainer.
Yep, that's right.
Along with that, the picketers, they don't make any money right now. They're making unemployment because they're unemployed. Because they have to go stand with a freaking sign out there like idiots. Go get a freaking job.
Yeah, how about using this time to go get some training?
You know what?
Skills.
I went and got a new job, okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I went back to another union company. I went to 7-Up. And now I'm getting out of that one, realizing that 7-Up's just as bad as the stupid company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of figuring out here that union companies are they must be terrible companies, I guess. And now, just today, I'm driving right now. I'm stuck in traffic. I just got out of a job interview that I got a job for. And it's not that difficult, folks. We get a job. You can make so much money doing other things than pushing things across this little belt that beeps.
Man, no doubt about it.
You know what I mean? I did that for 4 years. It's extremely easy. So the people that are calling in, and those last two dinglings, not the last lady, but a couple before that were arguing with you, you know what? Go to hell, folks. You guys are dumb. Okay? And the only way you can be successful in that business is if you're a store director, or you're not union, or you're still working in the stores making a salary. Yeah. But even them, they had to wait 50 years just to become a store director.
Yeah.
No education, no intelligence besides the fact that they know how to go downstairs and give the cashier the key card saying, okay, go ahead and refund that for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's an exciting career, going and voiding purchases.
So,
listening to 80-year-old women complaining that they didn't get their rain check. Oh, it's great. How rewarding that must be.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, Tom, give me a bong hit, Tom.
Here it comes, Tony.
Thanks, Tom.
Stephanie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Stephanie.
How are you doing?
Great.
You're having fun cashier bashing, aren't you?
I'm having the most fun.
Well, I'm a cashier. I'm a 23-year-old married mother of one. My husband and I own our own home, 2 cars, and we're doing just fine. Some people, there's reasons behind why they're working the jobs that they do.
Oh, I know.
I have a high school diploma, a college education, and I am a cashier. But my husband makes 3 times what I would make at the job that I'm applied for, as far as educational-wise. So I took a part-time job as a cashier, and you know what? I'm rather good at it, and I make people very happy. And sometimes
you make people happy, and that's why you're a cashier, because you like making people happy?
I love it. I love it. I love.
And how do you make people happy as a cashier? You ask them paper or plastic?
People's faces when they come from another store, and they're like, oh, those people were just awful, and they were just rushing us through the line. They didn't bag our stuff, and it ripped when we got out to the...
So you don't work for one of the supermarkets that's on strike. You're not on strike.
No, I do not. I do not work for the ones that are on strike. Actually, I'm on the East Coast. I work for Dollar Tree. which is actually not that bad of a place to work for. I've worked for worse. And they treat their employees very well, respectful, equal opportunities for everyone to move up in the business.
Do you belong to a union?
No, I do not.
Well, and what do you get paid? Since you're anonymous, you can tell us.
Oh, I don't mind at all whatsoever. I get paid $6.50 an hour.
$6.50 an hour. I hope the people standing out there with picket signs in California are hearing what this lady said. She makes $6.50 an hour as a cashier.
Make $6.50 an hour.
And you're happy.
I actually left my job prior to that. I was making $13 an hour.
Yeah. You know how much they make here in California?
How much?
Cashiers can make up to $18 an hour.
Yeah, I believe it.
18, and meat cutters get like more than that. They get $19 or $20 an hour.
I believe it.
I mean, $8 is like entry-level salary, and then people stay there forever and keep moving up the ranks.
Yeah, well, that's not what I intend to do in the long run. But it's part-time. But, I mean, the way I look at it is, and there's some people that know how to do their job, but they don't treat who the person is. The person that it's about is about the customer. They're the ones that make the money. They're the ones that help you get the raise. They're the ones that are putting forth to that company, and that's the ones you want to make happy. Although I don't want to raise. I don't want to go in a higher position. I want to stay right where I'm at because I'm happy, and I just love to see the people and talk to them, and, you know, every now and then you get your...
You're the Florence Nightingale of the cash register.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I guess I just did.
1-800-5800-TOM. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Joe on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
All right, Joe.
I just want to let you know, I work for Albertsons, and not everybody in the store is a cashier. There are a lot of people that work in the store that have skills. I'm a receiver, and I'm a certified forklift trainer and operator. I have to do a lot of receipts processing. I run a computer to handle those invoicing. There's a lot of things that go on. The meat cutters in the store are very skilled. Half those guys are missing fingers, for God's sakes. It's not...
Most of them make more than the cashiers.
Oh, of course they do, because, it takes a lot of training to learn how to cut meat. You're not, not just anybody could jump into that position. In a position like mine also, it takes a lot of skill. Not everybody can drive a forklift and unload trucks and count things,
Not everybody can count things?
Well, count things in the way that we do it. It's not like...
We lost him. God damn, I wanted to hear what he had to say. All right. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Larry on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Oh, my God, Tom, you got to love that. These meat cutters are skilled. They're missing their fingers.
They cut the wrong meat.
Okay, there's something wrong with that statement. This union is straight out lying to these guys that are striking. Everything they're saying about the 50% on the hospitalization is crap. These guys are too dumb to read a contract. If they read it or had a lawyer look at it, they'd have signed the thing as soon as it came out. That's all I got to say. Take me out Finding Nemo style.
Finding Nemo style.
Flush me, baby.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. This is Echo on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Mr. Leykis?
Yes, dear.
Or is it Mr. Stern? Today, what I was wondering actually is how you could say the things that you've been saying. It seems like you have quite an elitist attitude.
About what?
About all of the service industry workers.
Oh, no, I actually don't. I think that people who perform services that require a skill are a whole different breed from people who go boop, boop, boop all day long.
I think that people that cut meat do have a skill. I think that if
they do, and they get paid more. They get paid even more than cashiers.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they do have skills, and none of us would be able to eat without them.
Well, who said that? Who said anything negative about meat cutters?
You said negative things about all the people that are on.
No, I referred to cashiers specifically, and I said that these are people. What's that?
The meat cutters are on strike also.
I know they're on strike. I specifically aim my comments at cashiers.
But what I'm saying is,
so what you want to do now is you want to twist what I did or didn't say on the air. And I never, ever made a negative remark about meat cutters.
You made a negative remark about the entire industry.
I made negative remarks about cashiers.
The other thing I'd like to say is, if you came from a background such as that, you should understand the struggle of poorer people in this country. And I can tell you something. I don't know.
I know the struggles of lazy, uncreative people who don't choose to.
Possibly might be true, but I don't know when.
All right, so even you concede that that's probably the case.
What I'm saying is that maybe when you grew up it was a little different. Nowadays, I have friends that have master's degrees, and guess where they're working? They're working at the grocery store because there aren't any jobs out there.
You know what? That is extreme. I'd like to meet these people. I want you to introduce me to these people.
I will.
Dean is going to get your phone number. I want to meet people with master's degrees.
You can come over.
I want to meet the people with master's degrees who are working the register at Ralph's. I want to meet them.
Absolutely introduce you.
I want to meet those people.
Places like Ralph's, it's places like video stores and everywhere else because there aren't jobs out there.
Yeah. Well, what do they have master's degrees in? English, poetry. What do they have master's degrees in? Yes, it does matter, dear. It does matter because there's certain things you study at college that have no application in the real world.
What I'd also like to say is I am a person that only has an associate's degree, which is probably disgusting to you and beneath you.
I don't even have a college degree myself.
But I'll explain to you this. This is a fact. I make a lot of money. Do you know why? Because I work.
Because you're a stripper?
I'm absolutely not a stripper. But funny you should mention that because one of the other reasons I was calling is I think that you have been very sexist today.
Really?
I'm saying that I'm a stripper.
Well, how so, dear?
Because my name is Echo and I'm a female.
Well, no, you just said you make a lot of money and you only have an associate's degree, so that's one possibility.
You don't think that anyone, look at you. How much money do you make, Mr. Leykis?
A lot more than you do.
And what is your education?
My education is 2 years of college.
Okay, and that's mine.
There you go.
And what I'm saying is I put myself through it. I worked very hard. Not everyone can do that. There's people out there that have situations that you might
please. They put themselves in the situations. The people who get knocked up at 16.
That's not necessarily true.
Please,
Let me give you an example. I have a friend upstairs who's been taking care of her sister's children.
Mm-hmm.
She was not able to do the things that she would have liked to have done. But being a responsible family person and a good citizen, she took care of her own, which is what you should do.
I see.
And therefore could not afford to go to college or have the time to go to college.
And why isn't her sister taking care of her kids?
Because she's a drug addict.
She's a drug addict. So you see, I knew somewhere in there was an irresponsible person that someone else is going to have to cover for.
But what I'm saying is don't insult people like her. They worked so hard.
I insult people who do not want to do anything creative with their lives at all. And that doesn't mean you have to be a radio personality. There's a million things you can do in life. Here, I have made it very clear. And, you know, I'm amazed you think you're so much smarter than the rest of the people listening. Everybody understood what I was saying except you.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I know. You're so much smarter than everybody else, right?
No, I don't think I'm smarter than everyone else.
Well, hang on a second here, Echo. Ernesto, what did you want to say to Echo?
Hey, Tom. How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Hey, man, you know what? I mean, first of all, you know, this dumb broad doesn't even know what she's talking about. You know what I mean? You think that, you know, where people, okay, you know what, they have to go work and this and that. They have to go make money. I got to make money. I have kids, too, and you don't see me complaining about it. Whatever happens to saving money and putting things away?
What I'm saying is the only way for the working man to have a voice in this country is for the unions to stay alive. It's collective bargaining.
Yeah, but guess what?
It's an important tool in this American
and what we can do is just walk away and stop shopping where the union people work, and that's where the lower prices are.
And that's fine, and that's your choice as an American, but it's also their choice as an American to strike when they feel that they
they can do it, but we're all laughing at them. Ernesto, what do you want to say? Yeah.
Look at. First of all, you know what? All these people should get fired. I think they should get fired because there's a lot of people, plenty of people out there who are willing to work for like even minimum wage to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what these people are doing out there, but you know what? They got to get rid of them, man.
But
there's a lot of people.
Do you want all these people to be out there?
Whoa, hang on.
Okay.
Let me finish. Maybe give me my chance to speak, and you can talk later. Check it out. Look at people who are out there. I mean, they're wasting more time picketing when they should get their asses in there and start working. You know what? They should be happy to have a job. They should be thankful that they got a job. Because there's a lot of people out there in the employment area, if you haven't looked, that the unemployment rate is way up there. So we got to do something about that. And these people got to buck up and get it together and stop crying and stop bitching and stop, whatever, and get their asses back to work. Or else, I say they should just fire them. What the hell we need people in there? The people who are in there already are doing a better job.
Now, they've already successfully replaced thousands of people, and the stores are running better than they have since the strike began.
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I had a girl I was just booty call for 2 weeks, and she calls me up and she says, I wrote my mom a letter, and I told her all about you. And I told her, hey, you can write her another one and tell her you got dumped.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Send us an email. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com. Tom@blowmeuptom.com.